Right now, let's turn our attention back to the electric cars. And again, as we've been asking you, loads and loads of calls coming in this. The government expected to water down strict net zero rules for sales of electric cars, involving £15,000 fines for every car that's not electric that's sold over the quota that's now allowed, because apparently we live in eastern Germany now, as manufacturers face a lack of demand from motorists. Let's talk about this with Andrew Montford. He's director of Net Zero Watch. Good morning to you, Andrew.
Good morning, Julia.
Well, I mean, how many times have we discussed this, and how many times has it been rather obvious that, again, these net zero plans, these rules, these pledges, they do not survive basically any sort of dealings whatsoever with reality. People don't want to buy these things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the whole collision of student politics with the real world, isn't it? You know, they say these things, they wave their hands in the air, they say we're going to do these, you know, this is the target we're going for, and then in the real world they just don't work. And we've been saying that the motor manufacturing industry is going to be in real trouble. How long have we been saying that for? Years, probably.
But that's it. They've all signed up to this. On BBC had the boss of Ford in the UK on this morning. He was saying, "Oh no, we spent £2 billion, converting our factories to make EV cars. We're fully on board with the whole EV car thing. We just don't want to be fined when we don't sell EV cars."
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the whole industry is in a pickle now because, of course, they have spent loads of money on these new factories and nobody actually wants the EVs. I mean, the sales, I think, are creeping up. But, I mean, most people who get them seem to not like them anyway. So, I think that they're probably going to go down again. So, yeah, I mean, we're in real trouble there. I think we really do want Ed Miliband and to join in the FIFA match with... If they could have a FIFA marathon lasting 5 years, that would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it?
Well, keep them busy on that nonsense, so stop bothering us. But here's the thing, it's very, very simple. When we had, I mean, people always say, the EV cars are effectively the Betamax of videos, aren't they? Where, there's this battle between different brands, and we see this with mobile phones. People, they didn't have to ban us from using certain, selling certain mobile phones or encourage us with extra money or you have a voucher and the taxpayer will fund you buying a particular mobile phone. People bought the one that they wanted to buy. They were willing to pay extra for certain brands like iPhone because they believed, better. I mean, people make a choice in a capitalist free market economy for the right thing. If electric vehicles are so sodding brilliant and they're so much cheaper and better value to run and they're so easy and so reliable and so good, you wouldn't need to pay people subsidies to buy them, and you wouldn't need to fine manufacturers for selling diesel and petrol cars because people would want to buy them. But why is it people don't want to buy them?
I mean, people don't want to buy them because they're rather inconvenient because, you have a very limited range and if you reach the end of that range, it takes you a long time to refuel, if you like. So, I think what people actually given a free choice would go for would be hybrid cars of some sort, where you have a petrol engine with the electric motor just for when you're just doing very short journeys. They work, they give very high fuel efficiency, and that's a step forward.
Yeah. But they're all part of the ban, aren't they? I think a lot of us were very surprised that hybrid motors. We looked at possibly getting a hybrid ahead of these sort of rules on the basis that, we're not going to. What are we going to do now? Oh, sorry, I'm sticking to the diesel. I'm going to buy 3 the day before we're banned, so they're going to have a fantastic resale value. But this is the thing: the manufacturers, they've all basically been conned into you're going to face a ban on selling electric or hybrid vehicles from 2030. Then move to 2035, move back to 2030. I think the Europeans have moved to 2035 now, but it changes all the time. But as soon as you approach the reality of those years actually happening, it falls away. What are we expecting to hear from the Business Secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, today? Because it sounds like he's going to make an announcement, possibly in Parliament, about these rules where manufacturers literally are fined 15 grand every time they sell a diesel or a petrol car that they're not supposed to sell.
Yeah, well, the story that I've read is that they are proposing more support for the industry and a consultation. So I really think we probably want to curb our enthusiasm. This may just be smoke and mirrors. On the other hand, if in a few months' time we get another motor manufacturing company going under or a factory closure, then I think we're in a whole different ball game, because I don't think Mr. Miliband could survive that, could he? I mean, he is trashing the economy. Yeah. He's a lunatic, and
I mean, we are talking religious zealotry here. I still can't work out whether Keir Starmer's fully signed up to this or not, but at some point, as you say, when reality collides with net zero ideology, you know, one of them's going to have to win, and I don't think the voters are going to choose net zero ideology.
No, I think people will be out on the streets. I genuinely do, because the pain is going to be appalling. And you know, I think people can see it coming. I think people are frightened now by what this government are doing. It is quite scary.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it all carries on from what the Tories were doing. They're on their heads as well. This all happened on their watch as well. It's nice to see us being vindicated once again, as I think we will on all of these issues. Andrew Montford, their director of Net Zero Watch, get a